Hello lovely friends, here's a sneak peek of today's galaxy art with spray painted planets. Oh my goodness, what an emotional ride this has been and what a challenge, and I'm so pleased that I've completed it now. So here's a sneak peek of how I spray painted, and I'm going to go through a bit of detail with you later on, but just for now, thank you so much to my lovely members Linda Curtin and Jill Signs. And today this is for Linda. So Linda challenged me with this colour palette some time ago. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long. It's been a real challenge. And you know how life happens as well. So here are the colours, and I'll tell you why it was a challenge as I go along. So she wanted a little bit of light blue, some copper, a little bit of silver, a little bit of lime. And I thought, oh, how are these colours going to go together? And then purple as a bit of the star of the show. I had got that feeling. So I got ultramarine blue and deep purple and mixed them together, knowing that when they dried, it would be a deeper, richer colour. And then I had selected some spray paints of different colours to bring out that sort of midnight galaxy feel in the sky. You know, and you play with a colour palette and you just think, oh my gosh, how are these colours going to go together? So it was really fascinating, and from an artist's perspective, I love a challenge. I love experimenting. I did a painting before this and it came out really badly, as in the colours just didn't feel right. I was just literally using too much of certain colours in a different way. Now, when I re-experimented on a smaller tile, I realised what I was doing. I was just using two of the colours in too large a quantity, and the layering was wrong. So as you can see, what I've done is I've got the purple as the base, copper directly on top of it, and a fair amount of silver. Silver doesn't tend to do much other than really highlight and give an iridescent glow. And then I layered the blue on top of the silver at this stage. And then as I started to relayer, I wanted to put a little bit of the lime green on top of the blue. Now before, I tried the lime green directly on the copper and on the purple, and it had a completely different effect. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting copper on top of the blue by layering in this way and putting the colours on top of the ones that you know go together, and at the same time thinking about what method I'm going to use, what technique. So I've already got a Dutch pour in my mind, so I'm going to be using heat from the hairdryer, and I'm going to be blowing out the paints on top of each other in a certain way. That's all taken into consideration, and I'm going to go in a certain flow. So I'm just getting rid of any air bubbles, and I think that's enough colour there at that stage, because at this stage I didn't know how it's going to turn out. It was really exciting. Thank you so much for this challenge, Linda. You're an absolute superstar. So now I'm going to put, as you do in a traditional Dutch pour, the base paint just around the outside of the laid down paints, and doing this really carefully so I don't actually put the base paint on top of the laid down paints, because there's not a huge amount of paint on the bottom, and I'm going to add a tiny bit later on, but at this stage I'm feeling a bit tentative, but I'm really enjoying it. So there we go, there's the base paint all put down, and I thought I'd be daring and add a little bit more lime, because last time it was the lime layered in a different way that didn't come out nicely, but it actually looks really nice on top of the silver or the blue, because it's quite a bold colour. And later on I know I want that to come through, because it's one of my favourite colours, but it's the combination of all these colours together in quantity and layering that makes a real difference. So I'm starting the blowout. Initially what I'm doing with the hairdryer is I'm blowing the base paint into the centre, which is causing a bit of reaction, and then I blow it from the other side into the centre. This is a traditional Dutch pour, was developed by Rinske Downer, and she's an amazing artist. If you go on her journey, she's just doing some absolutely awesome things. And I love her original Dutch pour, and this is how she did it. So I'm blowing it into the centre. Sorry about the wiring being in the way. It's a really cumbersome hairdryer, but it works so well. And you can see now, that's it. So I've got all the paint as I want it. And now I can blow out from the centre of the paint all the way through. So when I say from the centre of the paint, what I'm doing is I'm going in the centre of the layered paints, and I'm blowing down and out. You see, so I went down and out, and I'm using the hairdryer on its side, so you've got the smaller channel of heat. It's on the cooler setting, but you still have a bit of warmth, and on the slowest setting. And I'm going slow for you to show you exactly what happens. This isn't actually how slow it is, it's a bit faster than this, but I wanted to show you the beautiful rainbow of colours that were created by blowing out these paints. So I'm going to leave you with a bit of music for a while, enjoy the blowout, and I'll come back shortly when I start to spray paint. And I'm also giving a bit of detail there about how you spray paint. I've had so many requests for me to slow down the spray painting a little bit, just so I can say what's happening, because it happens very, very quickly. When you're doing it for the first time, it's really quite tricky to get it right. So I shall see you shortly. Enjoy the music.
Take me down to the river where the peace won't run dry. Gather round at the river where my soul comes to life and I come alive. Freedom, freedom, freedom for my body, soul and mind. Freedom, freedom, here at the river where I leave it all behind. Oh, here I go, back to the river, where my soul is satisfied. Lord, I know you will deliver like you do every time that I come alive. Freedom, freedom, freedom for my body, soul and mind. Freedom, freedom, here at the river where I leave it all behind. that you needed? What if you're all that I want? What if our words stop the bleeding? What if my touch could heal scars? Would you throw me a lifeline or write your name in the moonlight? Walk side by side through the land mines, but don't let me run out of time. Waiting for a lifeline. Oh, what if there's no other answers? What if it comes down to us? What if we just took our chances? What if our time doesn't come? Would you throw me a lifeline or write your name in the moonlight? Walk side by side through the land mines, but don't let me run out of time.
This is the painting all wet, and I'm just scraping it off so it has a lovely finished edge. Look at how it's dried. Isn't that purple come through nicely? It's a beautiful deep colour, and that blue and copper and green, lime green, has come out so nicely. I'm really pleased with it. So I'm using my black spray paint to begin with, just dusting the edges slightly, seeing which parts of the pattern I want to keep, and looking at where I can place the planets so they give that sense of depth, that 3D effect, and also keeping the iridescence and some of the cells I really want to shine through. So I'm using it's actually an old canvas at my hand when I'm spraying, and I'm using my traditional stencil, holding it in place as well as it being tacked down very gently, and I'm layering the paint. This is the bit that I normally do at normal speed. It's slightly slowed down, so I'm layering very slightly, very gently, about 3 inches away, and I'm starting on the outside of the stencil just to get the paint going, and then I decide whether it's enough. And this one was a really easy one. This big one was also an easy one. And when I do the paints, when I spray paint, I'm also looking to keep a tiny bit of the background, and that's one of the tricks with making it 3D. Can you see I can keep a tiny bit in the background of the original colour and the original pattern, and each time I do it differently, and I'm spray painting more white on this one. That was a real freestyle one, that was. And I also like the splattered bit because that gives a sense of craters in that planet. And this one I end up redoing slightly. It's a smaller planet, there's more of the purple in the background, so you're not going to see much of the planet coming through, if any. And I wanted to make it very dark and very white. I had a bit of a splatter there, so I'll wipe it off with my dampened cloth, or in this case it's a wipe. A gold Montana spray paints are so lovely, very permanent. You have to work very quickly with them. This is where I'm redoing that planet very slightly because I wanted more of a defined edge. And now I'm using my hand as a guide, and there we go, there's the really dark purple Montana paint. And now I'm using my Deco spray purple, which is actually violet, beautiful colour, and that's the predominant colour. And I ran out just after I'd finished this painting, so I was so pleased. Otherwise I had to go and get some more, and I've actually got some more because it's just such a beautiful colour. And I used a tiny bit of copper, but what I'm doing here is highlighting a bit of the lime green that was underneath and doing it in a more intense way, so I can then wipe it off, dab it, and then it will just have a very slight essence of lime green rather than being very domineering. Can you see the patterns shining through? I'm using my hand to protect the planets and to allow the stardust to fall in certain places. So this was, oh my goodness, the most joyful painting to produce. I'm so pleased with the results of it. I think it's got to be one of my favourite planets. This one, another one, my two favourite planets. And my other one sold straight away, and I literally put a post up because I was so excited. And I had a lovely message from Linda, thank you so much Linda, saying she would love to buy it. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you. I'm going to send you a message and we'll sort that out. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you to my members, MJ Fluid Art and Linda Curtin. Thank you to my viewers. If you like what you're watching, please reach out to me. Please subscribe. Let me know what you're doing. I love watching what you create too. Thank you to my art community. You are my art family. Love you all lots. And don't forget, your art and creativity is a part of you. Take care now. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.
Would you throw me a lifeline or write your name in the moonlight? Walk side by side through